Hello, friends! People have been asking about how I compost personally, so I wanted to take some time today and have an intimate conversation with you in the last stage of my compost system. Stay tuned. Hello! Welcome to my three-stage compost system. I've gotten a few comments about composting, and I thought I would address the system that I use. Now, I'm probably going to talk about this at great lengths in the fall when I take out the garden, but in the meantime, take a gander. So, this is about 14 feet long, and it's a little over 3 feet deep. I ended up not doing, 3 by 3 by 3 all the way down. I had some custom measurements that I ended up going with, and I used cedar boards. So this whole thing probably cost me about $200, give or take, because of the cedar, but I thought that I'll get a solid 20 years out of this. So doing the math, I thought it was well worth it. After a year and a half, I've got no rot, and that's just nice to see. So for me, living in Zone 5A in Wisconsin, it gets cold, and I've decided that I can take my time making compost. This design comes from a pattern that I found on Pinterest, of course. I think it was from somebody in California, in the southern part, and it was constantly warm, and they were using this three-stage system to turn out a lot of compost in about 6 to 8 weeks. For me, I let things take 3 years. That stuff over there, we started 2 or 3 years ago. Closed it up May of 2015. And then we started filling up this. And we're going to fill it for a year. And I think May 21st, 2016, we're going to close this. And we're going to start filling up this stage. At that time, we'll use the compost over there that's been sitting for a year. Now, I turn it whenever I feel like. This stuff right here, I added some refuse from the front that I dug out last week, and I'll probably turn it when it's a little bit warmer, like in the mid-60s. We're going to get rain tonight, and that'll add some moisture, so I like to keep the moisture and dryness in check, not too scientifically for me, because time is the great equalizer here, not a well-balanced temperature and pH if I was doing this on an industrial scale. On the inside here, I've just got some standard chicken wire, and I stapled it in, and you know what? That does a great job. I have some things that go from stage to stage, but what does it matter? And the compost, when it's done, is relatively dense to the point where it doesn't slide through, even on the bottom. So, you want to see it closer? Alright, I tend to keep my wheelbarrow to the left because, it hauls a lot of things into the compost. As you can see from the front, I've got some 4-foot stakes. They're pounded a foot into the ground, and then I screwed them into the front. So this is nice and sturdy. And of course, this extra stuff over here was a mistake. Whoops. So this is going to be compost that I'll be using in the garden this year. And if I move some of the leaves over and I just dig my hand in, look at that. Look at how nice this is. Oh, it even smells delicious. And this is all, it's leaves, it's banana peels, it's coffee grounds, it's old garden, all the things that you can put into a compost. Eggs. I never put meat products or animal refuse or anything like that into my compost. And this is about a foot deep at this point, and this is a little over 12 feet square. So I've got 12 cubic feet of compost to use. Anybody wants to do the math as to how many bags that would be at like Menards? I'm sure I'm saving a lot of money. Over here, this stuff we've been filling up for the last year, so it's higher, of course, and it keeps packing down and down and down. When I put this last load of things on here, it was up to the bottom right here. And I've got slats that I can take in and out. Show you sort of. Nothing too fancy. They stick. And actually, I can probably bring this down to 3, but I always put more slats on when I fill it up to the top. The most I've ever had in this middle section is 5. So, fall time leaves, excellent. Lots of snow, pack it down. Good stuff. And since we've only had this for 2 years, Nothing to show in this third stage except the chair that I sat in. Usually I put this little outdoor fireplace in there as just a place marker, but come this year I won't be able to. Fortunately, we won't need to put that in there because over there is going to be a huge outdoor fire pit, and that's going to be a wonderful video for later this summer. And there you have it. I really like my compost system. Do you compost? What kind of compost system do you use? Do you have a single stage, multiple stage? Do you have one of those barrels that turns? Do you have something that you bought from a store? Did you make it yourself? You can do a lot to make a compost thing. I did plenty of research on Pinterest, and I could have been as cheap as like picking up pallets and setting those up with some wire, or even more expensive than what I have. But this just worked well for my needs, and we've got the space in the backyard for it. And I'm very, very pleased with it. So let me know in the comment section below what you do. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm the Midwest Man Mountain. Be sure to subscribe. And until next time, bye.